Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, and this is my first YouTube video. Hope you're all good. Thanks for clicking and stopping by. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about how I overcame being socially awkward and some useful tips on how you can do the same. So growing up, I used to be super awkward. I always used to make a conversation awkward, especially with people that I wasn't so comfortable with. So yeah, I always made a conversation awkward, even from simple small talk. When people used to greet me or say, "Oh hey, how's it going?" or hi up, what you doing, what you up to, I couldn't even find the right tone to say hi back. I'll be like, "Hey," oh. I'll just say it in such awkward tone, and that already set the grounds from there. So people just look at me like, "What is she? She's weird," you know. So yeah, or I wasn't even too sure on whether I was like a hey or hey babe or hiya, or it's just, yeah, it was so hard for me to actually like have a conversation flow. And what was funny was I always used to attract people who were bubbly. So I always had friends or those close to me who are so bubbly and big characters and were able to just engage in all who were able to just engage in all conversations and were able to make friends and were able to just be likable. But when it was me, like I just always made a conversation awkward or tense. I didn't even know why. I think it was because I was shy, but my shyness just made me become super awkward. Or let's say when I was with friends and they used to tell me to order food, I used to take the call and I was like, "Oh, hi, can I take your order? May I? Please, can I? Could I have?" I just always used to be like, I think it was just so difficult, like just starting the sentence to actually talk and just make the order. Yeah, it was, yeah, just, or even when I used to go out. So like, when I used to go to, I don't know, like hall parties or, you know, those teenage kind of events with friends or like a couple of my cousins or family or whatever. It will be a good time or whatever, and I'll still be awkward during the motive, like especially afterwards when everyone's mingling. Oh, that's the worst. Like, but anyway, so afterwards, a few days later, we all used to like meet up again and just kind of have like a debrief and talk about how it was, who was there, what happened. Something always happens. Something always happens. But yeah, and I always used to be the person that just gave side comments or just laughed when people said something like, "Oh yeah, oh yeah, remember, yeah." But I remember there was this one specific time I wanted to actually contribute to the discussion. Like, did I not go to the party? I did also go to the occasion, the party, the park, wherever it was, I also went. So I wanted to actually be part of like the discussion. So I was like, okay, so I'm going to say this after this person speaks, and I'm going to say it in this tone so that people find it funny and people remember that she said that, yeah, that was funny. Or that's even, now thinking about it, it was such a weird way of thinking, but I used to think like that. Yeah, so I'll be thinking in my head, okay, I'm going to say it like this, I'm going to say it in this tone, I'm going to say it. And I'll be thinking about it so much. Bear in mind, everyone else is still talking. Like, everyone else is exchanging comments, everyone's laughing, everyone's cackling, whatever. And then I'll be thinking about it so much, I'll either miss my cue, or what I said, I got the person's name wrong, or they even changed the subject, or what I've said no one even saw, so you're just laughing by yourself. So it was just super awkward. And then like, if you get this look like, "You've changed the subject," or "What are you talking about?" That's when you know you flopped. Like, it was so bad. It was so bad. Like, that's when you know you've actually flopped. And it just became like an awkward silence, and then I'll just keep quiet. I wouldn't even give the side comment that was given before, or the little laughs on the side. Nothing. Just that cool. And then afterwards, I'll be thinking about how I could have said what I said better. Oh, I should have said it like this. That would have made more sense. Oh, yeah. So, and especially when you're progressing from like secondary to college, you're always meeting new people. There's just a you know, a social group change and whatnot. I just kind of adopted the stuck up lifestyle, like a stuck up persona. So I never used to talk to people or try to talk to people anymore because I already knew that chances are I'll make the conversation awkward. So yeah, or when people say, eyes itching, or when people say, oh, you don't know how to say hello, or like, you know, sometimes when you know someone or you don't really know them, but you just know them a little bit, and they say, oh, you don't know how to say hello or whatever. I rather not, because I'm gonna make it awkward, and then you're gonna see me as the awkward girl, and I rather not. So yeah. So how I overcame being socially awkward, I think a lot of it came with age, but I also took a few steps to kind of build my social personality and to make myself less awkward. So the first thing is I stopped overthinking my conversations or thinking about my conversations. I think this was a thing that maybe I just used to do, but when I'm talking to someone or I'm just engaging in conversation in general, I'll be thinking about what I'm going to add in the conversation or what I'm going to say whilst other people are talking, which is so silly because, number one, you're not listening to what people are saying. So by the time you talk, most chances are the subject's changed, or what you're talking about has no relation to what everyone else is talking about. So I stopped overthinking conversations. I stopped thinking about what I'm going to say within conversations. So yeah, I don't know if anyone else does that, but if you do, stop doing it. And just, even if what you're going to say might not make sense, or it might still be awkward, I think at least it's relating to what everyone else is talking about, and that's one thing less to worry about. The second thing, and this is big, is expose yourself as much as possible. So I didn't really do this until university, and prior to that, most of the people, like when I went to secondary and college, I had already known people before I got there. So at secondary school, I already kind of knew people from the start of school, so it was easy to kind of build friendships from that. And at college, I already knew of a lot of people within that, so I didn't have to kind of practice actually talking to people who weren't used to me. So when I got to uni, so I go to Kent. In Kent, in first year you have to stay on campus, and when I got dropped off, literally, like, being from London and going to Canterbury is literally it's a bit of a culture shock in terms of the it's so silent there, hardly any people of colour, so I'll get onto that. So it was a bit like, whoa, like, so this stuck up persona is not going to work here. I'm gonna have to make new friends. So what I done was, I slept that night on the first night because I was sad that I left home and whatnot. And I woke up and I literally got ready, and so I just started walking around campus, and whoever smiled at me, I'll smile back, I'll say, hey, how's it going? I'll be practicing, because till that point, I wasn't too sure what catch greeting I use. So quite a few people, if they meet new people, they'll be like, oh, hi, hiya, hey babe. I think hey babe's a bit personal, but hello. But I wasn't too sure on what greeting I use, so I was just practicing all different kinds of like ways to greet and thinking, okay, which one suits me, and yeah, from that I was just like, okay, so I'm more of a high girl, because high kind of girl, because that kind of, I think that just suits my voice and just suits me. So from now on, when I see someone hi, then it just makes sense, you see. So yeah, I think that's another thing off the list. So as soon as you meet new people, now you know how to say hi, and how you know how to not be awkward from the start. And I also did the same thing like in the evening. So I got ready for freshers, and I didn't know anyone, so I literally was just walking around by myself, and I met loads of new people. Now knowing that I'm a hi girl, so I'm like, oh, hi, hey, you new, you know, just, yeah, I started being a bit more confident. I think because that day I made new friends in the morning when I was walking around campus. I had the confidence to then go out and just make new friends in the evening when it was like... Another thing I'll say is talk to people who you usually wouldn't speak to. So a lot of the time, many people of all nationalities usually talk to people within their own demographic. I mostly spoke to people, or most of the friends I had, or most of the companions I had out, it will usually be of Afro-Caribbean heritage, because I thought it was just easier to get engaged in conversation. Everyone has the same lingo, everyone has the same like culture, is always brought up in the same culture, so it's just easier to engage. And I think it's important to talk to people of all different cultures and all different races, because like when you go out and you go to occasions, or you go to places, or you work with people who aren't from your demographic, it just makes you become awkward, because when you constantly talk to people of the same demographic, it kind of puts you in a box, because you all kind of have the same mindset, all your interpretations of things are the same. So it doesn't really help in terms of being social and engaging with all types of people. Another thing is, maybe the crowd that you're in maybe isn't for you. Maybe certain people in your social group don't like you, so when you try to talk, or when you're talking amongst the group, they might say something or do something that makes you seem awkward. So that's like, watch your crowd. And I think the last thing is to just own it. If you're socially awkward, after I gained exposure and learned how to actually talk to people and what people talk about, which is why it's important to talk to different kinds of people, because you, no matter what social group you're in, you kind of have a rough idea of what their interests are and what their culture is. So, and another thing, stop caring what anyone thinks about you. I mean, yeah, I just don't care. Anyone that knows me now, I just don't care about I don't care about anything. I just don't care. And I think having the not caring attitude allows you to just focus on yourself and work on yourself. And if you make a conversation awkward, or if something you do is awkward, and you say, oh well, that was awkward, well, next, or just change the subject, and just carry on with what you're talking about, it just makes the conversation awkward for a little bit, not as long as if you used to drag it out and be like, and then people look at you like. So if you just own it and you just move on, that kind of reduces making conversations awkward. So yeah, I think I'll cut it here. If you've made it this far, thank you very much for watching my video. Yeah, so if you liked it, please do give it a thumbs up. And what else do you say again? Comment. Yeah, comment. I don't know what you comment. If you want to comment, that would be nice also. And if you'd like to see a bit more of me, a bit more advice videos, a bit more chit chat, I will share some of my interest in later videos, but I'll see you next time. Bye.